Today's two basic arrangements are from the Sugetsu book number 2. Books 1 and 2 are in the same book. And primarily in here, we do the two basic styles in the flat open bowl and in the cylinder. And in this case, we're following pretty strict rules as far as the main branches, but there's always a certain amount of dealing with the center that you need to do with your own eye. As long as we keep the main lines for the variation that we're doing, we can fill out the center. These two arrangements, basic arrangements, are numbers 6 and 7. This Moribana is what we call variation number 4, and the Kenzan there is placed into the back right corner. And then we have 2 main branches instead of 3. Instead of the heaven and the man and the earth, we have the heaven line, which is in this case slanting, and then we're going to the earth, which is coming forward. This is about a 75-degree angle towards the front, and about 45 for the main heaven line. And then all of this fill in here is also part of the earth. What we want to see then, of course, is the beautiful line, but also the triangular shape as these branches come forward and the wide open space. I've used fringe tree in both of these arrangements. I have a Chinese fringe and a Japanese fringe. This one, the bloom is about done. They both have a really nice sculptural branch quality, and in this case, because this is an upright style, we needed a little bit of help with some wire. It looked nice also as a slanting style, but to follow the book, that needed to be more upright. And here we have an assortment of peonies. In this arrangement, you can see one of the themes we often do in Ikebana is past, present, and future. So the spent bloom, which is beautiful itself, would be the past, and then the full bloom of the present, and the bud beginning to open here of the future. I also have some false indigo in this arrangement. And this peony has lost a lot of its petals. It was very, very full, but I think it works, proportionally it works very well to use that size, where the big full ones work better in this arrangement. So this one is a slanting, and this is an upright style. The upright style doesn't have to have a strictly vertical branch as long as the main line or water line is more vertical.
color is fabulous, isn't it, with the...
Yep.
So variation number 4, no soil, just sheen and hikai, no.
It's beautiful.
The one out,
Yeah, I need a keeper.
south, the outlet, north of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We can see here something in common in both of these variations, is that the man line is not present. The soy is not in this arrangement. And in the book there's always a demonstration with flowers, but of course we use our own choice of flowers. There we see the 2 primary stems. And we have the same thing in our slanting Moribana, where the soy line is not present. So we have 2 main lines instead of the normal 3. Once again, you can see the material here used in the book, of course, is dramatically different. They're the 2 main branches. And it's May, so these are blooms from my garden. Now I'm going to do the same arrangement, do the Nageire style, with smokebush and the Doreen Peony. I need a little more height to get the proportions right, so I'm wiring a branch to the bottom. These are Doreens. I always think I have my favorite peony and then another one opens. So these are also a favorite of mine. I have a couple peony buds from another arrangement, and I like that texture, so I'm going to add these in there. This is an upright Nageire style with no man line, no soy line. Same as the other one that I did earlier, but different materials. The false indigo, the Doreen Peony, and a red smokebush. And I did clip a small piece to take some weight off of the smokebush and also add the color deeper into the arrangement. My plan here is to repeat this upright design, only I'm going to reverse it now and put the shin on the right side. It's Memorial Day weekend and things are fading fast. It's quite hot. I want to use the yellow smokebush while it still has a bit of bloom. And my plan here is to wire these two branches together. This is a narrow mouth, so one crossbar is fine, and I've had that in there for a while. It's worked for multiple arrangements. And now the branches are wired together. Just make sure that the first one is down in the water. When we do an upright style, the main line, the heaven line or the shin line, is not straight up and down. It's always off the water line or off the straight line to some degree. Now this style, it particularly calls for about a 15-degree angle, and my branch, even wired, it doesn't quite want to do that. If I was teaching a class and I needed to show exactly the upright, then I could wire my taller part of the branch and use a strong wire to bend it where I want it. But it looks beautiful this way, and it's for my own enjoyment at home, so I have a little bit more angle than the general rules for this particular style, but we'll still have a pleasing arrangement. All of these variations are just to teach you pleasant arrangement, space, and so on. So we're moving in the direction of a slightly slanting style. The other thing in this arrangement that I'm going to stick with is there's no man line or soy line. We'll go right to the Hakai or the earth, which will be coming out at about 75 degrees from the front. I have used some vinegar in there, which will help to keep the flowers and foliage fresh and clean longer. My peonies are at the end. This one is still in decent shape, but probably won't last too long. I found just a couple peonies I can still use. I found a little bit of beauty left here on some of my corals, very small ones, and the seed heads are gorgeous. My plan to reverse it didn't quite work with the branch that I picked with the weight and so on. And again, rather than manipulate it to the other side, I'm going with it. So we're going back to the heaven line being on the left and the Hakai coming out to the right. And again, I've changed my mind according to the flowers that I have. This is the direction these peonies want to face so that we can see the small one in the front. So you can see that Ikebana can be really an open-minded endeavor unless you're stuck with a certain design that you absolutely must follow. You can let the branches talk to you and inspire you. I still want to use my two peonies in yellow and white, although I wouldn't have to. But let's continue in that direction. I'm filling in now with additional smokebush, yellow smokebush. I was looking at TJ Maxx for a vase. Couldn't find anything, but in the bathroom section I found this. This is actually the container, decorative container for a toilet bowl brush. And I like the look here. I could put peonies in here. I think it goes very well with the pattern. So I've got my water, a little bit of vinegar in there to make the arrangement last longer. One crossbar. And I was so happy to find I still have a few peonies. This is a late bloomer. But the rain is coming, so I wanted to do something before these got destroyed too. I see the direction the branch itself wants to go. This is a magnolia, and I need to prune some weight from it. It wants to go off to the left and slightly forward. So I'll build my arrangement around that particular line, that heaven line. But I am once again going to the arrangement where there is no man line. Go right to the Hakai or the earth line Now I've trimmed both visual weight and actual weight from the branch. I'm not going down to a very sparse branch, which I could do. It's a totally different look. And now we'll move on to put the second line in. That will be the peonies. This is another arrangement that I could leave as it is. Just stop with simply the branch and the hikai, the earth line, the two beautiful peonies. It's simple and beautiful by itself. Here I've added some false indigo. That is also fading in the garden, but there's a little bit left. A bit more magnolia foliage there, bringing up the back. I've trimmed a few of the upper leaves from the heaven line and put another helper in the back, helping branch. So now we have a more full arrangement, so it's a matter of taste then. I like the simple one. And I often like to make a very simple arrangement, take a picture, and then add something more to it.